Welcome back to Iowa Live. Our good buddy Brad Argo is here from Midwest Foundation Repair. And did notice something yesterday, Brad, and I think this is what we're going to be talking about here today. We're watching a couple of more dogs at our place for the next week or so. Okay. And went outside and right around the foundation area, got down on the ground like I have a tendency to do with big dogs like this, and notice how saturated the ground was. And how really soaking wet it was. And we haven't had rain for a while, really.
Really, it's been pretty dry.
Yeah. Now, is that pretty common around here?
Yeah, you know, we're kind of getting into the season where I call it early spring. It's where we usually have some of that like snow melt and just some extra precipitation coming down, you know, early spring. And we just haven't really had too much. Now, this weekend we had a little bit. So we've kind of seen some rain. And now I think people are starting to maybe get some of that rain and that water in their basement, which is never fun. Yeah, because it just sometimes it'll just start trickling in. You see the little, little creeks of water coming in. And a lot of people will just ask, it's like, gosh, why is this happening? To me, I have a little bit of a video just to kind of show people what can kind of happen and what typically happens, you know, even with a newer home. So you see, you know, here's your foundation wall setting on your footing, and so there's your footing, there's your foundation wall, and there's your basement floor. So typically what you do in normal construction is you put that tile on the exterior part of that wall.
Down below where it is, okay.
But when they excavate, so when they backfill that wall, that's just loose soil. So you know, the virgin soil on the other side, it's just more compacted. It's been there for a long time. It doesn't allow water to seep into it, but now you have the most vulnerable part of the soil right against your foundation wall. Right. What eventually happens there, as you can see, is that tile gets all full of just
because of the fine particles that go through.
Exactly. And they'll put on, you know, a sleeve of some
like
kind.
a nylon. It looks like a nylon stocking on it sometimes.
Eventually it just fails. And that's what we always say. Eventually that exterior waterproofing, it fails.
Yeah, so the tile might as well not even be there.
Right.
And so all that water is building up there. It has nowhere to go. It's almost like a funnel pushing that water towards your wall.
And it can also cause, you know, issues with your foundation wall, which when our system designers come out, they'll also take a look to see if there's any damage to your wall as well, which no one wants to hear. They have an issue with waterproofing and the wall, but the thing is we have two solutions for both of those.
Okay.
And both of them are you know, lifetime warranties, and they're fantastic for
And can you do them at the same time?
We can. We do them a lot at the same time because typically we do see both issues taking place. So this is what we would do here with waterproofing. So you'd be like, okay, well, I'm getting water in. Let's do what we did before when the house was built. Let's excavate. Let's waterproof the side of the wall. Let's put a new drain tile down. Well, it's very disruptive. It's very costly. And guess what? It's gonna fail again.
You're singing to the choir here, because this is exactly what I did at the house that I own now. After I moved in, we had water coming in, so we did that. We took out the dirt, we put a plastic barrier, rubber barrier there, replaced the tile, did everything. And guess what happened a couple of years later?
Got water in there.
Got water again.
So you have this now. This is the water guard. So it's interior.
And how do you know that I have that? Because I bought it from you, that's why.
So it's interior. We can do it all year. The water's filtered through the wall. So that way you can run it right to the sump pump and discharge it outside of your house. So this is just the first step, which is probably the hardest step for any homeowner to see, is we got to tear up a little bit of your basement floor, put down the tile, the interior tile.
No, it's almost like, I'm trying to picture, or just trying to explain what this is really like. This is the best way to, it's almost like a gutter for your floor.
Yeah.
Because it's collecting the water and then getting it out of the way.
Precisely. And so it captures the water. We put concrete back over that. So if you want to finish the floor again, put carpet down.
Which is what we did.
And you can do that.
And you can't even tell it's there.
No, not at all. But, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, gosh, I get water in my basement. Can you guys do this in the wintertime? Of course we can. You don't have to wait till you have water in your basement to have us come and take a look at it. We can see if there's been any water in the home in the past as well. So it's just something to keep in mind too, because once that water starts to get into your home, it can affect your wall. It can also affect the air you breathe.
The mold.
Yeah, it just, water's really pesky.
That was the first indicator that we were having things back again, is because we smelled it before we even saw it.
Yeah. And that's a big thing, is you want to make sure that you have a dry environment in that basement, because you're going to be breathing that air in the wintertime, especially. Still right now, homes are buttoned down, the windows are closed. We're just breathing all that air, and most of the air you're breathing is coming up through your basement.
Right. Now, what's the first indicator for a lot of people that they have water in their basement? If maybe they have it finished, maybe they have it all decked out, maybe it's their deck area, their den area. Yeah. What's usually the first indicator that there's water in the basement?
You're usually going to feel that carpet being
yeah, you're walking around in your stocking feet and they end up wet.
Yeah. And sometimes people can go a few years before it really becomes an issue, but if you've waited and if carpet's gotten wet, then you're going to peel that back and you're going to see the mold. And that's problematic. And then it's just kind of a pain. I'm pretty empathetic, because if someone's finished their basement, for the most part, we're going to have to get rid of some of those things to do the work.
The carpet's going to have to come up.
Yeah. So I always say, if you're thinking about finishing your basement, go ahead and give us a call. It's a free estimate. That way we can kind of take a look and see if there's any water intrusion occurring, and just kind of give you a timeline potentially if we can see how long or how old the house is, when and if you may get some.
And now I'm going to give you guys props on something else too, because I witnessed this firsthand. You saw the jackhammer breaking up the concrete, and they take a trench about yay big away from the wall, and you see some of the dust here, but they taped off the area, you know, with sheet barriers to make sure it didn't get all over the house. It just was confined to that one area, which I thought was really slick, but was equally as slick was how they hauled that material that they broke up out of the house. They used 5-gallon buckets, and they put everything in there, and when they got done, before they installed the unit, it just looked like someone just trenched out the area and it magically disappeared. It was amazing.
Definite professionals on our team, and we're super happy to have them on our team. They're really good at what they do. Some of the best reviews we get, because I look through all of those, is usually, you left our house cleaner than it was before you started the work. No, we had jackhammers in there. We had to do some pretty serious work, but yet when we left, they felt they had a good experience.
And people are also concerned about how much time it's going to take to install something like this. They're saying, "Oh, do I need to be there? And how many days am I going to be put off? But how long does it normally take?"
You know, it depends on the size of your house. It's usually a couple days, maybe 3 or 4. But yeah, definitely within a week. Have you all set?
Yeah, ours took 2. So you guys really you hauled on ours. You guys did a great job on ours.
And we've done, you know, large commercial buildings as well. We've done some big schools that, you know, had problems with being able to use their space, maybe some problems with some mold, and we came in there and just fixed that entire situation. They could use that space better, increase their, of course, you know, property value as well.
And the one thing that I do have to say that I did not expect, and I think way in the back of my mind I was hoping for this, but after this, the water system was installed, the drainage system was installed, the thing I got the most enjoyment out of is when it rained. And it rained hard. I didn't have this pit in my stomach wondering how much of my stuff is going to be ruined from water coming in my basement.
That's such a big part of it.
It was a weight lifted off my shoulders. A peace of mind, if I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, and we know that definitely occurs a lot with people that get water in their basement every time it rains.
Every time it rained,
or when you look at the forecast, you know, you're like, gosh, it's going to rain this weekend. Okay, I need to get towels down in the basement. I need to do this. I need to move my boxes.
Get the couch up.
You know, and I say a lot of times too, it's like, if you have this issue and you're even potentially thinking about moving down the road, you know, you can end up with 3 options. 1, don't do anything and then discount the house, because they're going to see that, the inspector's going to see that. 2, do the work right before you sell it to appease the buyer. Or 3, if you have the opportunity to do it now, enjoy your house, not have to...
Just do it. Okay, seriously, just do it. Because I put it off for about 6 months and I wish I wouldn't have. It does the trick. It really does the trick. Now, people want to get a hold of you. How can they get a hold of you?
289-1606, as the jingle goes.
Same number.
That's right.
Okay, new name, same number.
Yeah, that's right. And MidwestFR.com. Now, if you go to MidwestBasementSystems.com, it's just going to redirect you right there, so you're going to go to the same place.
Midwest Foundation Repair, their new name, folks, MidwestFR.com, to get all the details. This thing really works. This system is absolutely amazing.
Since you let me sit in the desk.
You're my co-host right now.
I brought you a couple hats.
All right.
So you got one for you and one for your favorite co-host.
Tammy, you got yourself a new hat. Okay. Very perfect. Thank you so much for coming in, Brad.
Thank you.
appreciate you being here. Get it done, folks. You'll be so glad that you did.